This is chapter 10, overview of the Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna has described devotional service already, especially at the end of chapter 9. To help generate further devotion in his devotee, Arjuna, Krishna now explains his opulence. In chapter 7 and 9, Krishna has explained knowledge of his energies. So, in the first section, verses 1 to 7, Krishna is origin of everything, is described. In chapter 10, Krishna explains his opulence more specifically and thereby reveals himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the source of all. Then the next section is Chatur Shloka, or the main 4 verses of the Bhagavad Gita. The essence of Bhagavad Gita is described in these verses 8 to 11. All of Krishna's opulences are summarized in verse 8. By knowing Krishna's greatness, devotees develop a love for him and engage in devotional service. Because their minds are fixed on Krishna, the devotees always relish discussions about Krishna and cannot maintain their lives without him. This is in verse 9. When Krishna sees the devotees' great eagerness to serve him, he reciprocates by enlightening them from within their hearts. This is in verses 10 and 11. The next section describes Arjuna's acceptance and his request. These are verses 12 to 18. After hearing the essential 4 verses of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna became completely free of all doubts and accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, this is very important, to become free from all doubts. So the purpose of having a spiritual master, or one of the purposes, and having association of senior devotees, is that they will help us to become free from all doubts. And Arjuna also accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then he then expressed his eagerness to hear Krishna's glories so he could always think of him. In the last section of chapter 10, verses 19 to 42, Krishna's opulences are described. So, in response to Arjuna's request, Krishna describes the most prominent among his limitless and all-pervading opulences. Krishna lists various objects or groups of living entities and states that he is their essence or the chief member of each group. So you will see this in the chapter. After naming 82 opulences, Krishna summarizes by explaining that these opulences simply indicate a fraction of his glory, a fraction of his opulence, for he pervades and supports the entire universe with a mere fragment of his total potency. So this is the overview of chapter 10.